the unknown is always a big question mark for people, and that's a challenge. And I guess what I would say is that we fully respect that, and our goal is not to lose sight of all the good things that we've had and the good things that we've enjoyed. And many of those things are restaurants or entertainment establishments that sometimes do have times when they're successful and times when they're less successful. So in part, I go back to this issue of transitions are hard, and we're in the midst of a transition. And the more that we can begin to put some focus into where we're going, and that's that communication issue, I think people can, if they see where we're heading, it makes it easier to accept. They see that we respect that change is hard, we respect their input, we respect the fact that we don't want to lose sight of our history, but likewise we don't want to become irrelevant. And I guess that's the risk you run, is if you're always living in the past, you become irrelevant. And I will tell you, particularly when it comes to community issues, and even more so in the economies, if you're standing still, you're absolutely losing ground. And that's a sad reality, I guess, but it's a hyper-competitive world we live in, and particularly in the business world. And the wonderful thing about the internet and flattening the world and the global economy, for all the benefits, it's created this hyper-competitivism, or forget it. It's hyper-competitive. And so what that has meant that you've got to be out there. You've got to be out in front just like everybody else, because if you're sitting there waiting, somebody else is out there doing what you could be doing, and so you're losing ground. And the frustrating part with economies and even communities to some extent, there is a sense, in my experience, that you're either moving forward or you're moving backward. There really is no such thing as stasis. And both of those directions, whether it's forward or backward, have momentum. And so if you can, the beauty is, if you can start some forward momentum, that'll build on itself, and that'll help push the things. I'm always amazed that once we do a couple little things here, something else pops over here. And then someone else says, you know what, I saw what was done over there, I want to do that here. That's really what happens. It's not that we wake up one day and someone flies overhead with a giant crane and drops New Kent downtown on us. That's unrealistic, and that is scary. We wouldn't want that as far as change goes. We're looking for that well thought out, incremental change, that can be market driven, so that it's businesses knowing what they need to do, who should be here. Some of those decisions happen all by themselves in our, the invisible hand of our economy. And some of those establishments that go out of business, it's not because the city asked them to go out of business, it's typically market didn't support it. And so I guess to some extent, it's recognizing all those things and wanting to be a part of the future, and not just seeing ourselves sort of bleed to death. And it is hard to create a sense of urgency. I mean, you don't want to scare people into progress, but likewise, you need to be aware of the risk. If you're not in the game, you are losing, and essentially you're bleeding to death. And nobody wants that either. So you've got to be out there in front a little bit and pushing the envelope respectfully and taking some risks. One thing cities don't do well is take risks, because we're open to criticism, and I respect that. I mean, that's fair game. That's part of the turf. But I'll also tell you, it's a mistake to just sit on your laurels, because if you're not taking an educated risk, everything's a risk. You've got to be out there taking educated risks, and sometimes leadership means it's not a popularity contest. It means doing what's right for the community when it's right, and believing it's the right thing. And that's really what we're trying to do right now. And we've got a lot on our plate, a lot going on, but I feel good about it because of the fact that it's all rooted in, we think it's the right thing to do, and I think we're doing it the right way, and we're making some progress. We've had a few early wins. Downtown is definitely more vibrant than it's been in years. It's very rewarding to have people catch me on the street and say, you know what, I've been here 30 years, and after our heyday in the late 70s, early 80s, I haven't been as excited as I am right now to be in Kent. The stuff that I see happening, the energy and investment that I see, not from the city, hopefully the city was the spark, but it's now being fueled by all the energy and the people that are in this community, businesses and the volunteers, and who are stepping out saying, I want to be a part of this too. I want to be a part of this future and have a role. I have things I can contribute. That's what it's all about.